Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Underhood Show presented by Mel Hambelton Ford. My name's Phil Nightingale. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning.
Josh Prophet, our service director, here to take your calls at 316-462-3673. Number there down on the screen. Love to hear from you this morning. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, anything you don't understand about your car. You want to talk about new products. You want to talk about anything in the car business. We'd love to hear from you. You want to talk about racing. You want to talk about whatever. But we'd love to hear from you. You get a great price package about over $130 for each and every caller. Only show I know you get paid to call in on. And love to hear from you. Morning, Jeff. So, Josh, as always, what's in that package?
So we're going to mail it out to you, but it's going to consist of the works, which is an oil change and tire rotation. We use Motorcraft oil and filter products here at Mel Hambelton Ford. While we're performing that, we're also going to complete a multi-point inspection on your vehicle, checking over the brakes, tires, steering, suspension, all the safety-related components on that vehicle, making sure that it's ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving. You'll also receive yourself $10 to Mel's Diner so you can get yourself something to eat and drink while you're here with us at the Big Corner. Complete nitrogen for your tires so you get all the great benefits that nitrogen has to offer. You'll also receive a BG products package, which consists of a can of MOA or motor oil additive for your engine oil, and then CF5 for your fuel system. Again, just getting that vehicle geared up and ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving.
All right, 316-462-3673. That's the number that comes right into the front desk. Tell the girls you want to get patched in the podcast, and we will get you on. And Tim says, good morning, Ricky, and morning, Cal. Got one. I know where the Ricky's come. Ricky's not real, Tim. Ricky is not real. It's Ricky Bobby. He's not real. He's a wannabe.
Cal is Cal's the other driver.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
See?
Oh,
here we go.
Okay.
I had no. Yeah. No. I told everyone I'm going to finally one day I'm going to say I don't watch that movie, but Cal. Okay, see, there's proof. I had no idea what that meant.
Yeah, clueless.
Yeah, so, hey, anyway, race open house February the 17th. Yes, we had a little glitch in our texting deal to send out a text, and it went out as of February the 11th. So sorry about that. It is February the 17th, 9 to 4. Got all kinds of exciting stuff going to be happening there on Saturday the 14th. 17th.
Saturday the 17th.
God, I can't spit it out right either from that part. So don't want to miss it. Going to be all kinds of prizes, giveaway stuff. We're going to have lots of different vendors this year than what we've had in the past. And let me see if I can get that list pulled up again of some of the vendors that we're going to have.
Oh, and that deal. And then that Sunday is the Daytona 500, isn't it?
That is correct. We always do that Saturday before the Daytona 500. And sorry, I'm texting these guys to get me a list of the vendors.
Get a list together. I know. I think Nick had sent you one last week, if I remember right.
I don't know. Him and I text quite a bit, kind of like you and I do, and trying to find that text. But of course, I wonder if it's an email. I guess I could check that real quick too. But I think we've added a couple since last week. I was going to say,
I bet there's been some additions to it anyway. So
from that part. So let's see if I can get something pulled up here real quick.
But yes, that's going to start at 9:10.
9 to 4.
Yeah, 9 to 4.
9 to 4, and we will.
So we got the little race cars coming in the track, right? That's going to be here. So that'll be.
Yes, Roaring Entertainment will be here for the kids to be able to run around the racetrack with that.
That's always fun. You see, you say it's for the kids, but I've seen some pretty big kids playing on that thing before. So
is his name Josh?
Well, maybe. And you know what? To better support the factual part of that movie, I have on the Roaring Entertainment thing seen a car win backwards.
Well, I'm sure on that deal.
So to say that
because that cars go backwards just as fast as they go forward.
to say that it can't be done is an understatement.
In the real world, they don't win the race going backwards.
Okay,
you got to admit that is true.
I would tend to agree with you a little bit. Yes.
Okay, until they get a new list to me, here's what I finally found the list from Nick last year. Aeromotive, which we've had them many, many times here for that. So glad they're coming back. Yep. Aeromotive is a fuel supply, fuel pumps and injectors and stuff. P-Tronics is coming. Renegade has always been here. So Renegade Fuels will be here. Yep. They'll have their staff on top. So if you got any questions about the Renegade fuel, Mid-America Dragway will be here on staff to show you what's coming up for 2024 with their racing. Flying H Drag Strip will also be here. New drag strip coming up. One of the big ones, Monza, is finally coming. He's bringing his Chevelle. to have on display. So if you want to see the big hot rod of Monza, he's been here before with his Camaro, but he's actually finally bringing the Chevelle. That has been a long, lengthy process going through COVID and everything else like that, getting that car built. Not sure he's even raced that car yet, but Monza will be here with his hot rod. So Dodge City and USRS sprint cars will be here on display to talk to them. RPM Speedway will be here with a booth. New sponsor for this year is All-Star Performance. So all you racers, I know you use a lot of All-Star Performance products. They'll be here on staff to show and talk to you about everything from that part. Bar to Bar will have on display some motorcycles and stuff. B's Moto Lab will also be here with his display to kind of talk to you about your motorcycle and stuff. Eric Chesterman will be here with the HMT Arms. And, of course, Trenton Berry will be here with Racing Dirt. And another new one is going to be Weir's Machine. So, gentlemen, I know a lot of you racers, you do a lot of stuff with Weir's Machine from that part. So there's a list of some of the things, vendors that we're going to have new and exciting stuff, too. Everybody's asking how many cars. Until we can get this layout of no one have enough room for all these vendors, then we'll decide how many cars we're going to have on display, what we're going to do from that part.
I think weather too will play a part on that as far as if we're able to get some outside as well.
Well, the old Phil said it's going to be an early spring. So how do you know?
Oh,
did you know that?
I did not.
Yes,
that was yesterday, wasn't it?
I got all kinds of texts about that yesterday. Or was it yesterday? I can't remember.
I think it was yesterday.
I don't think it was yesterday. I think it was Wednesday. Maybe it's Thursday. Here, I'll tell you here in a second. So when I remember someone texting me and giving me crap about it. I wish I could control that. It was yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It was yesterday. So, yeah, I wish I was the one that can control spring, because it would never be winter around here. So how that would be. I can promise you that. That's for sure. So, hey, anyway, 316-462-3673. Hey, anything you want to talk about in the automobile world, racing world, whatever it might be, love to hear from you. Give you a great price package, about over $130. 316-462-3673. Number comes right in the front desk, and we'll get the girls to say, patch you through the podcast. We'll get you on the air and fix it right up with your question or whatever it might be. Or if you want to throw some comments over in the side, let's get that going too. So anyway, Josh, exciting stuff in the service department this week.
It's been very, very busy for sure here the last, well, I don't know. It's just busy for sure. But that's one thing, that I appreciate everybody's patience on understanding to be able to get to the car, to get to their vehicle. But that's the other side of that is, like, these guys are the amount of knowledge that they have and how qualified they are to work on your vehicle, to know that when it gets to somebody that it's going to be right. And, I can't express that enough on the level of complications sometimes on some of these things. And for a consumer, it may even seem so simple, and from a consumer standpoint of, well, it's broke, just fix it, or it's broke, just put a part on it, or, but when you get into the modern technology now, the amount of networking and, I guess the data that's provided to these technicians sometimes from the manufacturers. I was involved with a gentleman this week about his phone and syncing his phone to the vehicle and how it was reacting. But and I was just going through and kind of explaining to him, you take how many, so you have the vehicle and the modules and the setups in the vehicles, but then think of how many different models of phones that has to be compatible with. And then you take your phone, and in a lot of cases, they'll do an update once a week.
Don't match your car.
Yeah, once a week, easily. But then how about the updates on the vehicle to
accept that phone?
But then you go through and you think, okay, well, now you have the manufacturer of the phone, and when they're pushing out an update, to make the phone work better. They don't care about what
that's going to set to your car,
what it supports, and how well it works, other things and stuff like that. And so it's it can definitely be a struggle sometimes. And on the technician side of things, I get it for these guys that it may be something that they have zero control over or ability to take care of, and to your credit, it's amazing how many times an update will fix something. You
Oh,
know, I was,
whoa! That kind of hurt coming out, didn't it?
It is. It did. It did.
I know, Josh.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
it did for sure.
It's no kidding. I mean, you think you're updating a module that doesn't have anything to do with what their system is, but the way these modules talk to each other changes everything drastically.
And I know from a consumer standpoint, because I see it a lot of times where you say, well, hey, we did an update on that. Well, they're instantly thinking, well, that's not going to fix something because there's something wrong with it. There
Yeah.
needs to be a part replaced, or there's some, and you know, in a lot of cases it does. It
Yeah.
takes care of this situation or issue for sure. And so I cannot imagine being in the aftermarket world and not having the support of the manufacturer or the tools and equipment and stuff like that. I don't know how you would fix a
Today,
vehicle.
a technician in the aftermarket world, Josh, that's back in the 80s when I started wrenching, and I left a dealer and went to an independent because the independent was going to pay me more. I worked for him for a year and realized, whoa, this is not good. If I'm going to build my career and where I need to go, because I went to one training class for the for a vendor, but all that training class in the aftermarket world is, for example, a vendor will come and say, here, we're going to train you up and everything else, but all they're trying to do is push a product to you. They're not really training you. If the training they're giving you is so old that you're already ahead of that game. So I knew right then and there I need to get back into the dealership. So I got out of it for a year and realized this is not good. But now think about today, about how far behind the independent world would be on training and updates, let alone just the tools, the data, the information, what you have to spend to do that. And then, like you said, now we're updating these cars to fix these cars. Think about what that's going to do, because there's no way you can have an independent shop can have software updates for all those makes and models. Can't happen. I mean, it could. I guess you spend a lot of money, but it's never going to be cost effective from that part. So
for the facility that's trying to repair the cars, you know, and from the manufacturer's side of things, I mean, there's a lot of manufacturers have adopted the over-the-air update for the vehicle, which is extremely helpful. But then that in its own way can cause differences to the customer, and we can talk about more about that here.
Well, and I think the caller coming through.
Yeah, we'll go to the phones here. Got a caller on the line. We got Jason. Jason, you're on live with Under the Hood. Good morning.
Hey, morning, guys. How are you?
Good.
Hey, I know you guys been busy. My truck's been down there for a week, and nothing against you guys. It's just, it is what it is. But maybe you can get some insight on what's going on with it. So it has a misfire, and the engine light came on. I immediately brought it to you guys. Any insight on what might be causing that?
Well, yeah, that misfire, that's a tough code sometimes to figure out exactly what's going on. You know, years ago, we could feel an engine misfire as it's running down the road, you know, before we had all these computers and everything on it. But now today, these computers can detect deterioration. So you may not even feel that engine misfiring at all from that part, or the engine's not running as smooth as you think it would be, but the system knows that there's something happening here. And what is the deterioration happening? Is it simple? Just a spark plug? Could be. Could it be a coil? Could be. But there's all kinds of things that roll into to a misfire from it. You know, years ago we had intakes that leak. We still have intakes that leak. You have ignition issues that we still have today.
Well, and depending upon vehicle makes, I mean, there's some that have 2 injectors per cylinder now. You got a high pressure injector and then a low volume injector as well.
Yeah. So and the other thing I will go into is it's just simple as when I say deterioration, just like if a intake valve or an exhaust valve just starts to leak a little bit or whatever, it's going to pick that up and throw that in there. So you can't just go to a O'Reilly's or something like that and pull a code and say it's got a PO1 cylinder one's misfire and start throwing parts at it. You need to be able to diagnose that engine misfire to know, is it a plug, is it a wire, is it compression, is it a valve, is it whatever, is it leaking, or is it one of the injectors not throwing enough fuel at it, or whatever it might be. So sometimes those are intermittent too. It can be very tricky and touchy to get it diagnosed correctly.
Well, I trust you guys because that's why I mainly wrote to you guys, because I trust you guys more than do anybody else. And I live in Augusta, so I'll just 30 minutes or have to look at it because
yeah. And, so yeah, sorry, but we're busy, but I still use that same analogy.
No, it is what it is. That's good for you guys.
Yeah. Well, Jason, here's my analogy of that. If you roll into a restaurant and there's nobody there, Do you want to eat? Not me. There's a reason nobody's there. But if that place is busy, packed, everything else like that, that tells you there's a reason why everybody's there from that part.
Exactly.
So anyways, and trust me, we're always constantly working on ways of figuring out ways to eliminate some of these delays, all that kind of stuff. We're finally, I kind of feel like we're kind of finally out of that parts delays and kind of things. We're still got a few things still fighting us on parts and stuff like that too. But I feel like we're kind of finally out of that a little bit on that time delays and stuff too. So it's coming. And just like anything, we would love to hire some more technicians, need technicians. It's like everybody I talked to in the workforce today, I don't care what business they're looking for help. And we're the same way. We'd love to hire some more technicians to help speed up that delays and from that part.
Gotcha. Well, guys, I appreciate it. You gave me a little bit of insight of what might be wrong with it. But like I said, I know I took it to the right place. So I appreciate it.
No, appreciate the phone call. We appreciate your confidence you have in us, and we'll get it dialed in one way or another, Justin. I promise you.
Get it fixed up. So
I know you will. But I appreciate it.
No problem at all, buddy. Hey, have a great weekend, and talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, buddy. All right, 316-462-3673. Love to hear from you, just like Jason. Or anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, anything in the racing world, race open house, whatever it might be. Love to hear from you. Anyway, Tim Daniel has a great point. My phone updates all the time and keeps the setting, but my truck does not. Updates your race radio settings, seats, etc. A real pain. Tim, I agree with you. And I hate it myself when it does it, because even when I get in my demos and stuff, Josh, I do hook it to the dealership Wi-Fi, and I hook it to my home Wi-Fi, and I do hook up Ford Pass and all that kind of stuff in each one, so I can feel everything that's going on there and stuff too. But
well, we've even had cases or scenarios where because, and that's kind of where I was headed with that, is manufacturers are starting to have these vehicles do over-the-air updates. Well, there's a lot of great things that come of that. One, it's not a extra service visit that the customer would have to have within the the ownership of the vehicle, which is huge, to be able to fix something before it even becomes a problem, or make something better to where it's an overall better owner experience for the consumer. But it's the I guess the knowledge to the customer, or making sure that they know what's going on. I mean, I've seen cases where a vehicle has done an over-the-air update, and then the features change. It may change a display setting or something like that. Well, then a consumer's like, "Hey, that's not there. It's broke," or
Well, I had a situation to where I have a customer that trades me Expeditions every year, and got into the new bigger screen.
Yeah.
On the second truck, and one of the lovely features that she liked so well was when she would pull into a parking spot, she could hit one button and it would pull the front camera up, so she could see how she's pulling into a parking spot, or mainly pulling into her garage.
Yeah.
The new Expedition, that feature wasn't there.
The button wasn't there, but it would automatically do it as the proximity sensors would get close to something.
Yeah, but she wants to have it on sooner.
Yeah,
so she can see better, before it does hit that part. And the year older had a button there. He called me the other day and said, "You're not going to believe this. It did an over the update. Guess what? The button's back." So
it's down there.
It's down there now. It's on the screen. It's there. So in some of these things, when they do these updates, and where all these manufacturers are headed, I think, I could be wrong or whatever, we've added so many features and benefits to make these vehicles work right. But what we've done, instead of making one computer control it all, we keep adding computers and adding computers and adding computers, and they got to be talking to one another. So when they put that over there update, guess what it does? It goes back and kind of does a master reset on some of those and sets them back to a situation there from that part. But I also think some of that is just the way those computers have to talk to each other and to reset it back. So Tim, I agree with that. I hate it's a pain in you know what, and I hate that too. But I don't know, every time I see an update, Josh, my truck drives better from that part. Okay, let's go on to the next question. With EV news so predominant, what's your dealership stance on regarding it? Well, William, here's what I'm going to tell you. And someone's probably going to pop a little screen on here and talk about drinking the Kool-Aid here in a minute, probably too. My opinion on the EVs is we're getting it shoved down our throats too fast, too much, and we're not letting the public adapt to the situation. My other opinion is, and opinions are like, you know what, we got them. Our government has putting these CAFE ratings way too high for these manufacturers to hit. And I understand fuel economy, but we've made these vehicles so much better today. What's coming out the tailpipe is not near as harmful and everything else from that part. So why we got to keep increasing the fuel economy, I don't know, because we're worried about emissions coming out the back of the tailpipe. And as clean as they run today, I mean, I remember when in 11, this is 2011, they came up with a new Super Duty, and we had a trainer come in and he put that Super Duty on the showroom floor and did a 4-hour training, and we had that truck sitting there idling for 4 hours, and you could never smell that truck. That's in 11. Think how cleaner they are now in 24. So that's my opinion is, so why the EVs have been pushed so hard, the government's again pushing for those, and I think that they pushed it way too fast, way too quickly from that part. Are we going to be an EV dealer? Yes, because we want to be a full-fledged, full-round, take care of every customer we possibly can. The EV market right now, to me, is a very niche market from that part. Who can use it, who will be beneficial, who will, it's great for them for that part. I've got a sales manager. Him and his wife both are driving EVs. They've made it work. They've got the charger in their house, all that kind of stuff. He loves it. So that's a niche market, in my opinion. Now, the benefit to us as a dealer, in my opinion, is every Lightning that we sell lets Ford make another 10 F-150s for this CAFE rating they have to hit. So in that part of it, it gives me more of a option to sell you more F-150s, which is what we sell the most of from that part. So we've done all the requirements what Ford has required us to do to put an EV, to be an EV dealer. The only thing we haven't done is put a customer-facing charger in front of our store. And I am so hard against that because I don't believe that you as a consumer, if you buy an EV, that you want to come to the dealership and charge your car. You want to charge your car at your house from that part. That customer-facing charger for a customer that's driving through. And right now I want to take care of my customers with what we have here today from that part. So we just got to, I just firmly believe we've been shoved this EV down our throats too fast, too quick. I wish we'd worked on more hybrids and stuff, which they are doing for 24. There's going to be more hybrids made more than ever with Ford from that part. I love the hybrid, especially in an F-150. I switch back and forth, Josh, and I lose 45 miles a gallon when I'm not in a hybrid for my commute and what I do and everything else from that part. So anyway, there's my stance. I hope I answered your question well enough, William. We're going to continue to be an EV dealer, but I'm going to put on my hard stance to do what I think's best for us and what's best for our dealership and best for our consumers. I'm not going to lean so hard at what Ford says. That's why that customer-facing charger is not setting out. It's only a $90,000 charger I got to spend to put out front of the dealership. So I hope you all understand why I haven't spent $90,000 to go put a charger in front of this store from that part. So if you got any more questions, comments, throw them in the chat line. Love to hear from you more, what your stance is on the EV cars and what's happening there too.
You know, it's one of those things that there's an ass for every seat, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And so there's something that works for everybody in the sense that what might be good for one person may not work well for the other. But, you know, if it works for you, I think it's a great thing. What blows me away about the EV side of things, or even a hybrid version of it, is when I get in one of those cars, it's such a psychic thing that, like, I drive it different. Completely different.
You try to get
like I try to get better fuel economy out of it, but then I get in a regular F-150 and it's like, okay, well, let's, you know, I don't know. It's just amazing how much different you drive one of those vehicles.
And the other thing that's out there too is it's the range anxiety that everybody gets excited about, and I get that too. It's like I was talking to my Ford rep just this week, and they were talking about how they're putting some extra incentives on the Transit E-Van to put them into service. And I said, you know what? I did 2 of those already for my parts department, and we put 6,000 miles on them and didn't have an issue. But the problem we have with the E-Transit, in my opinion, Ford advertises a range of 110 miles. Now, who in the world is going to run a work transit that's got a range of 110? Well, that's not correct. Now, if you get on that E-Transit and you drive it on the highway, I believe it is a 110-mile range. But when you're in town with that E-Transit, when you're braking, it's recharging it and doing all that kind of stuff. We never had an issue running those vans all day long in town because the regeneration would do that. And that's why I told her, I said, you calculated this mileage so wrong. People are so negative against the van and from that part. So, again, it's another thing shoving it down our throats too quickly, too fast from that part. But Do I think EVs have a future? Yeah, when we can charge them faster and when we can have some more range than what we have, I think that's another idea. But I think that technology is still, I don't know, what is it, 5 years away, 10 years away? I don't know.
Depending, yeah.
From that part. So is there an EV market? I mean, when I drove that Lightning, and I drove it for 2,000 miles, I never had an issue, other than when it was one cold day and I had to go to Hutch. And so it's 55 miles, say it's what it is or whatever. So that's 110 miles. My range when I left the house said it was 140. I rolled back home at 18. I was that, and range anxiety was getting me hit pretty good. But when I drove it back and forth to work every day, all that kind of stuff, never had an issue. Never had an issue. So everybody's got a different deal of how that works for them and that kind of thing. I do think down the road, my opinion, where we'll end up is there in your household, if you got two cars, one's going to be an ICE vehicle and an engine,
Internal
gasoline
combustion engine. Yep.
and another one's going to be an EV. But I think we're a ways away from that. But I do think that's where we're headed from that part. Good morning, Michael. How are you, buddy? Okay, David, do you see the range go down in 32 degrees and less cold range than EV? Yeah, yes, it is. And here's something that, of course, Mr. Tim Daniel wants to tell me about my Kool-Aid that I drink when I went down to Georgia. What I did learn down there in Georgia is you take your vehicle in the garage, cold weather out, and you back it out of the garage and you take off. The battery is not warm, and it's in cold temperatures now. The battery has to get to a
operating
temperature to be efficient. So you're burning all this electric energy of your battery to get there, and that's sucking that range way down. Now, granted, the cold temperatures do still affect the range from that part. But if we do what they call a condition the battery, meaning if you leave the house every day at say 8 o'clock, and you tell the car, you plug it in and you tell it, hey, I'm leaving at 8 o'clock, it's going to condition that battery and make it warm before you back out of your garage and take off.
On your home power, not the power
of the car. So you're plugged in at your house. You go to your Ford Pass app, say, hey, I'm leaving at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Then it's going to know, say, 7:30, that it's going to start conditioning that battery while it's plugged in your house and warm that battery up. So then as you back out of the driveway, it's warm, it's efficient, and you don't use the range. Now, is the range still less in colder temperatures? Yes, it is. But if you condition that battery, it's going to help it tremendously of not sucking it down like it does. So great question there, David.
And then it's also conditioning the interior of the cabin as well, so that it's ready to go.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of things to learn and do and stuff like that. There is a lot of technology in these EV cars. I get it. But I think some of that technology is going to rub into the hybrids.
Yeah,
is what I really think is going to happen there too. Now, to me, the ultimate thing is a plug-in hybrid, which is a gasoline engine and a battery that you can plug in and keep it charged up. Now, the F-150s that we have now are just strictly a hybrid from that part. So anyway, 316-462-3673. Hey, love to hear from you. Anything ailing your car? You want to talk some more about EVs, whatever? Love to hear from you on your opinions, whatever. If you want to throw it in the chat line, we can talk about that too. So
what are you seeing on while we're on kind of EVs? I know we haven't taken in a huge amount of them, but as far as like the used market value for EVs so far.
Well, and again, that's still some, how do I say this? The used market is going to be a still live and learn kind of a situation for what's there from that part. I will tell you that it, no matter if it's the Mach-E, it's the Tesla or whatever, what I'm seeing so far is when those cars are hitting about the 40 to 50,000 mile range compared to new price, they're already at half, kind of give or take right in that side of the coin.
Yeah.
Now, we traded for a Tesla the other day that had 120,000 miles on it. And yes, it had dropped quite a bit of value, but again, 120,000 miles. And that's where I'm still not understanding too, is the battery just strictly a time that hurts it, or does miles affect that battery? I don't know. That's some more things I think we have to put some more miles and time on these batteries to kind of know how they're going to
determine. But I don't know, as far as like depreciation over, say I know on a Mach-E, you don't have a gas engine to compare it to, but even if you took like a Fusion hybrid or something that was both gas and electric, do you see a different value on that specific unit versus one that was, say, just a gas engine?
Josh, that's a great question too. And like the Fusion plug-in hybrid, and then we had the Escape plug-in hybrid, and then Toyota's got one too, and that sort of thing too. There's just not enough of them out there to get that determining factor kind of where that's at. But what I do love about the plug-in hybrid is if the battery does go bad, guess what? You still got the gas engine to keep moving the car. The car's not dead, from that part either. So that's where I think that's the best ultimate thing is a plug-in hybrid. So that way you can still be running on electric. But the only thing most of the plug-in hybrids, electric side of them is only probably a 15 or 20 mile range before it kicks back into gas. Think about if they could take a battery that's got, say, a 200 mile range, not be as big as that, and still have your gasoline engine. Guess what? You can go to Kansas City if you wanted to, or Oklahoma City, whatever, and back and not have to worry about it. Plugging them in or doing whatever. But if you still could plug in, guess what you got? You got the best of both worlds.
I would also wonder about the desirability of that, 40, 50, 60,000 mile unit for that next owner. What's the interest in taking that? Is it something that's going to be around for a while, or are they pretty desirable?
Yeah, I think that's still some of the time will tell and all that kind of stuff. And I guess the other thing I'll throw out there is just like those cold days we had below zero and all that kind of stuff, and the who knows how much true that really is or whatever, but I do know it's some true. These cars were sitting in charge stations that couldn't get charged, wouldn't charge, all that kind of stuff. People charging, couldn't hardly get home and stuff and everything else too. So there is still some technology, still some stuff to get worked out and stuff too. But my biggest thing is the government needs to back off the cafe rating, let these manufacturers build what us as consumers really want. And I think we want hybrids today before we need this EV shoved down our throats as much as hard as it's going to get there. But if you're an EV fan and an EV works for you, hey, great. I got an EV that I can help you and sell you and fix you up too from that part.
I mean, I think of fuel economy of what vehicles were getting years ago. And, a car to get 20 miles to a gallon out of it was pretty decent fuel economy, and now you're getting that out of pickups. I mean, that's I don't know, that's crazy.
It is. Hey, we got another caller on the line. We'll get them patched through here in just a second, and get Marissa patched through the line here in just a few seconds. And let's see if Nick sent me another email here too
about a race open house, right?
Yeah. And let's see what that email has.
Get them
anything more
through.
People we're having coming to the race open house. We got Marissa coming through, Josh.
Yep, we'll get her patched through and get her on the line here.
Okay, some more added in is Schaefer Oil will also be here. Casey Joe with Advocare will be here. Of course, Big Corner Creative. I can't believe I left that out.
Yeah.
And then Westhold Sheet Metal will also be here. So some more new sponsors that we've not had here before. So if you racers are out there listening and stuff and want to know where you don't want to miss the race open house February 17th, 9 to 4. And let's go to the phones and talk to Marissa.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. So all this talk with electric cars, obviously I fully believe like this is like the future coming up. I have a house. We've put in the electric plugs to have an electric car be able for that when the time comes. But talked with my dad, and I know that there is the Maverick, I think, that comes in electric. But when do you think we're going to see a Ranger come out with an electric model?
Well, first of all,
a hybrid.
Yeah,
hybrid.
Yeah, the Maverick is a hybrid. That is correct, and that is the most desirable truck because it's getting 40 miles to the gallon. I've got people telling me 45 and 45 miles to the gallon out of those trucks too, if you drive them nicely and everything else from that part too. There's some other things coming as far as hybrids and stuff. They just announced a 25 Explorer that I did not know I would think they'd give us, that's the thing that bugs me about Ford. I wish they would give us more heads up about things that's coming down the pike than what they do, but I know they're trying to hide it out from the market and stuff. Do I think the Ranger's next in line or very close in line? Yeah, I do think the Ranger will be a hybrid. Of course, we announced a new 24 Ranger back in November, October, somewhere in there. We had our sales training on those Rangers, and then that was the first plant that went down from the strike. And that has just pushed that whole plant back like 90 days. We still have yet to see a brand new 24 Ranger on our lot yet. And we should have seen them in November. from that part. So they're in production again and that kind of stuff. So we'll be seeing the new Ranger, and it's a new Ranger. It's all redone, a little bit bigger than the other Ranger and stuff too. So to go against the competition. But do I think there's a hybrid coming in that Ranger? Yeah, I do. I really do. I think that's not too far away.
Awesome.
So anyway, appreciate that. Is a great question, but I hope that Ford keeps pushing these hybrids, because I think that's the way of our immediate future to help us get better fuel economy and that sort of stuff too.
So do you
Yeah,
currently
agreed.
do you currently have a Ranger?
No, I don't. I currently drive a 2007 Ford Focus that she runs and she's paid off, so that's great. But I think in the near future, I probably will get something. And so we put in stuff to be able to have the compatibility for a hybrid or electric, but we'll see if there's one out on the market that will be good enough.
That was a great call doing it, I promise you, because I do think in the future down the road, that's some great things to have. And from that part, I do know we've had a couple customers that have had to spend some tremendous amount of dollars in their houses to get the electric stuff into their house to correctly charge them and stuff too, because they're not as a newer side of the houses and stuff too from that part. So good call on doing that.
Yeah, thanks.
So anyway, excited to see the new Ranger. Hope we'll see some soon.
Yes, agreed. Hopefully they can push one out that is hybrid. That'll be a good thing.
I hope so too.
Well, thank you for the call and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you too.
You too.
Bye.
All right, 316-462-3673. Love to hear from you. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries. You want to talk some more about EVs or hybrids or questions or comments? Throw it in the chat line. Love to hear from Delbert. Good morning, Delbert. You're kind of running behind today. It's kind of odd on Delbert's side. Was you sleeping in, Delbert, or what's going on? You stayed up too late last night running the car all over from that part? So
could have been out there running that thing everywhere in the big city of Oklahoma. So anyway, so now on the new side of things, or the new vehicle side of things, production is starting to increase, or you're starting to see inventory come in on certain things. Other things is still pretty hard to get, but are you starting to see manufacturers do like any rebates or incentives, or because now inventory is back a little more in line? It is coming. It is here. We've got, several years before this all happened, we used to have, sometimes we had 800-900 new Fords sitting on the ground here. Remember we had the East lot down there, Josh? We had cars parked down there everywhere from that part. We're back up to the mid 300s. That is more than I thought we'd be at by now. So that is great and huge. We've got plenty of inventory of about everything other than Explorer's a little soft, but they're coming. I mean, I got a bunch of Explorers coming. We got lots of F-150s out here for the 23s. The 24s are in production. They've yet to ship a 24 F-150. I got a lot of people that have ordered them from me and are excited to get them and can't believe they're not here yet. And they say they see all this stuff on social media. The dealers got them. No, they don't. They've yet to have one F-150 24 be shipped out of Dearborn yet from that part. So that's kind of that situation. But I do see rebates coming. I do see some incentivized rates finally coming from that part. So yeah, it's coming. The other thing we got to do, we got to get the prime down a little bit too, in my opinion. Well, that's what at this point, any type of rebate, you're just aiding in the rates side of it. And so what's the driving factor for a manufacturer to go out and put incentives on rates to finance through them versus a rebate on the vehicle? Like what determines when they do one versus the other, or is there? That's kind of these rebates and versus different things and stuff. It drives me crazy, because you know what? Don't play. To me, the manufacturers sometimes play games with the consumer to say, hey, you got this great rate out here, but guess what? Then you don't get this rebate. Back and forth kind of thing. So we have to go through the deal and say, okay, is the 2.9% better, or is the standard rate better? And again, giving you the $1,500 or $2,000 rebate, and where you at with equity in your car? What's the term going to be like? And all that things kind of play into factor, because anymore it takes a little bit to figure your car deal correctly to make sure you're getting the best rate, the best payment, and everything else that fits your needs. And it's not just something easy anymore like it used to be, is pencil a deal and say this is where you're at and We have to really look at all these incentivized. I mean, there's rebates, there's
rates. There's also now Ford is kicking out what they call ICI offers, which is a private offer to you. If you've been loyal to them or whatever, they'll kick an offer to you, throwing those into play. And then what drives me crazy, they give you an offer, say $750, but it doesn't go with the cheapest rate. Okay, come on.
Well, yeah, if you're going to give me an offer, why would it not matter?
Exactly. So it's a kind of a game we have to play with the manufacturer to make sure we're giving you, the consumer. It's kind of like the other day, a guy was talking to me about, I used to remember these rebates are $5,000. So do I. I remember $7,000 and $8,000 rebates on trucks and stuff. It's just not there today yet.
Well, I think that had a lot to do with the amount of inventory that was out on the market, right? I mean, if they got a lot and they're trying to move it, they're going to offer incentives and rebates for it, I would guess, to get it moved. And right now, we're not there.
No, but I do think it's coming. I don't think it's very far around the corner from where some of that stuff will change and all that kind of stuff too. But here's where another aspect of, these high interest rates and that kind of thing too, is most people, when they're buying a new vehicle, they don't keep it for the whole term of the loan. And so when you look at it, if you trade, 28 to 32 months and look at that rate and how much that really is, it's not a big number.
Yeah.
Is it a different number? Yeah, it's a little bit different number too. But if you're not going to keep the car for the whole term of the loan, which most people really don't on that part, it's not that big of a deal if you sit down and pencil the numbers to it. But do I want to see that rate come down? Yeah. I think we're too high. I think it's where we need to be and stuff too. So from that part. So, hey, 316-462-3673. Hey, anything talk about buying a car? What rates, rebates, all that kind of stuff? Throw it in the chat line. Love to see. Delbert had to go to Home Depot again to do a little project with his grandson. So
I was, the other day, it's been a while back, but they had, there was incentives or rebates on, a specific insurance carrier. I think I even seen one for like a quarter horse association or something like that. And so to be able to find all of that stuff, you really need somebody that knows what's going on.
Well, and I'll go back to that too. There used to be a really big rebate for if you were a member of a co-op or you had a membership to Land O'Lakes.
Yeah.
That went away, and Super Duty people loved that rebate. Again, it was $4,000 and $5,000. It went away with COVID and all these shortages of inventories. And I had a gentleman talking to me about it the other day. I said, do I think it's coming back yet? Is it here yet? No, it's not here. But it will be back, I think, eventually as we start getting this, because I do have stock Super Duties on the lot. Not a lot, but a few that I've never had in 3 years.
Yeah.
So do I think the Land O'Lakes and the co-op thing will come back? Yeah, I do. So it's just more things that's going to change. It's like I had a guy ask me the other day, do you think these prices are ever going to come down? Well, I think once they're up, they're up.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, well, I mean,
I don't. I wish they would, and for everybody's sake of the factor, but I just don't. I don't see it. I could be wrong. Got a question about that? Comment about that? Love to hear you too. What you think about the prices? Will they come back down? I love them to come back down. Love to be back down to where they were and stuff like that too. But I just don't know that that's going to happen.
Well, and again, I think you go back to a supply and demand deal, is that if it's there and people are paying it, you know what I'm saying? Why would you change it or do something different about it until that changes? I don't know. It'd be hard to sell something for less money if it's selling right now at what you're asking for it.
Yeah, I get it. Anyway, 316-462-3673. Love to hear from you. And anything you want to talk about the EVs, you want to talk about rebates, incentives, whatever, love to hear from you on that part too. If you want to throw it in the chat line, we'll chat it up too on that side of the coin too. So 316-462-3673, right to the front desk. We'll get you on the podcast and get your question or comment, whatever it might be, answered for you from that part. So,
and again, the race open house is not next weekend. Now I'm going to give you the wrong date. The 17th.
You're trying to get that wrong too, because we did send out a text to our group chat that was wrong. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so it's the 17th. Starts off at 9:00 in the morning.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull the list back up here again. Okay, so for you, everybody that's listening out there and stuff too, the race open house, February 17th, 9 to 4, and got a lot of new vendors coming this week, that weekend we've never had before. All-Star Performance for you racers out there. All-Star will be here, and we sell a lot of All-Star products and stuff. I have a lot of them on my race car too. Those guys will be here to answer any of your questions. Weir's Machine, another new vendor we have not had here before. They'll be on display with all their stuff that they do, and have a gentleman with them that can answer any of your questions. And I know a lot of people use Weir's on their race cars and that kind of stuff too. Schaefer's Oil will be here. Aeromotive will be here. Patronics will be here. Renegade. Mad Drag Strip will be here. So we want to talk about their schedules, what's going on at Mad for 2024. I know they got some exciting stuff coming there. Flying Ace Drag Strip, another new drag strip coming. Monza will be here with his Chevelle finally. We were supposed to have that car here 2 years ago, I think. So it'll be fun to have him here from that part to see that Chevelle, and hopefully he'll have that hood up on it. Maybe he have to go out front of the store and do a burnout. Maybe he can do a better burnout than I can do it in the blue and yellow Mustang.
I think he can.
Nah, I don't know.
Nah. Okay.
I'll challenge him. How about that? Anyway, Dodge City and URSS sprint cars will be here. RPM Speedway will be here. Bar to Bar will be here with some motorcycles on display. Talk about their 2024 season. They got some new exciting stuff coming there too. Racing Dirt and their new division of the mod side. Eric Chesterman will be here so you guys can talk about their new series. They're running around here too. Bees Motor Lab will be here with the motorcycles to show all the stuff that he's doing with that for you too. Casey Joe with Advocare will be here to keep you energized and rejuvenated with all the Advocare products, all your racers. And of course, Big Corner Creative will be here to show you all the wraps and different things they can do for you on your race cars and that stuff too. And then Westhold Sheet Metal will also be here too. And I know that's an issue with how much sheet metal has went up in the years too. So
yeah.
From that part. So there's a list of everything. Race Open House, February 17th, 9 to 4. Don't miss it. Jordan Whitehead will be here cooking for us. Has some great food. Lisa's going to have lots of prizes, lots of giveaways and stuff we'll be drawing for and everything else too. And we're already working on the specials, pricing, and everything we're going to have at the open house to get racing kicked off for 2024. Can't wait. Ready to go. That's for damn sure.
When's your first race?
I haven't figured that out yet, Josh.
Oh, yeah.
We were just discussing that just yesterday. It's probably going to be going to the Hayes race at the end of March. Is probably going to be our first race. I would love to go get something else done there too before then, but who knows? Maybe some tracks or something, have some practice open up. We can go there too. But I think our first race is going to be going to Hayes, America.
How about the car? Is it ready?
Close. I will tell you, it's closer being ready than it's ever been in any year. Can you believe that?
So, yeah.
Yeah. It blows me away, but it is. It's close. It's very close. We got some different things we're doing for 2024. Jake and I and Nick have decided we're not going to go try to win championships at racetracks. We're going to travel just a little bit more, do different things, not be there and not points race this year. We're going to go have fun. I remember about 4 or 5 years ago, Jake and I decided to do that, and we had more fun doing that than trying to win a race championship. We won Dodge City last year, and we got second slide, and we're headed to Hayes tonight for their banquet. We got third there. But, Jake won the state, and he won the region, the 5-state region out of IMCA last year. So we want to go have some fun. Yeah. See what we can go do with it instead of trying to cheat. Because you go to the racetrack and you're constantly counting points, you're counting positions on racetracks to see where you're at in points and stuff. And just we're going to go have some fun.
Well, I think being able to go to a lot of different tracks and experience different things, I would think would make you a better racer, for sure.
Agree.
And then different competition, every different place you go and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, and like we've never really raced in Oklahoma or Texas because that was out of that region that he was trying to win, which he won last year. So we just never really went there. So we're probably going to head to Oklahoma, maybe some Texas, depending on weekends and stuff like that too, to race. And you're right, to race some different things, race against some different talent from that part. So
and the only difference I would see in that is if you stayed with the consistent group of drivers,
you're not going to get any better.
Well, you're not going to get any better, but other than you may be able to kind of predict a little bit of what they're going to do, I guess, so to speak of. I don't,
that's true.
And you go somewhere new, you wouldn't know that. So that part of it I could see going kind of either way. But as far as being on different tracks, different surfaces, I think that definitely would help hone in your driving skills for sure.
300%. So anyway, we will be heading different places. We will post different things on Team 3J. We've got a YouTube channel where all his races are at, and we'll have it on our Facebook and Instagram where we'll be racing and stuff too. Normally by now I've got our schedule already out on our Google Calendar, but I have not even put anything together yet because we're still trying to figure out exactly what we want to go do. So anyway, Jeff Daniels got some great comment on prices. I think the customer service expectations and experience have to go up as well. I think that where you're at MH4 are winning. Experience the difference, yes. And Jeff, I agree with you 1,000% of customer expectations, customer service, all that kind of stuff too, and how you're taking care of what you do, how you help people, and just not trying to make a buck, trying to make some friends, trying to make things happy, but most importantly, make sure you're taking that consumer and giving them what they need. That's for sure.
I tell you, from the consumer side of things, what is frustrating to me is, and it just seems like more and more, if I want to go buy something, and I don't care what it is, just being able to go somewhere and they have it right there. There's so much more and more stuff is Amazon online next day, and I want to see it, touch it, feel it, like walk it. When I decide I want to buy it, I want to know what my options are, have them all right there, and walk away with it. And I've always been that way, and the more consumers go out to Amazon and order something online and get it shipped to the door, the less you get that ability to do that.
I'm with you. I hate to see the brick and mortar stores go away. But you're right, Jeff, on the customer expectations and service and everything else like that part too. I still remember I needed a simple part at my house on one Sunday. I went to a store to find it. I couldn't find anybody to help me. I walked all over everywhere trying to find it. Couldn't figure out where it was at. I just left. Went home. Guess what I did? I got on Amazon. The thing was sitting on my doorstep the next day.
Yeah.
Was it inconvenience? I wanted it Sunday. Yeah, that little part was inconvenient. But you know what? I got exactly what I wanted from that part. I hate that for our local brick and mortar stores and everything else too. But you are right, Jeff. We've got to step up our customer expectations, customer service. And I will say, as us consumers, our expectations have jumped big time.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So anyway, morning, Adam. And Doug, you definitely learn definitely learn how to tune your suspension going in different tracks. Yeah, Doug, you're exactly correct. And that's what we're really trying to do. I'll tell you, there's a lot of experimenting we're going to do with Team 3J this next year. We've done some different things with shocks and different things we're going to try and play with a little bit to kind of see what it does, what it helps the car, not the car, all that kind of stuff too from that part. So anyway, Greg, the cars of today are far ahead of cars from even just 10 years ago. Technology and safety has a price. Yeah. You're exactly right. It does have a price.
Well, and I know the safety is something that I think a lot of consumers are never even going to experience how safe something is. If you don't,
or you experience it.
Yeah. If you don't get in an accident, you're never going to understand all the safety features and what a vehicle has to offer for sure, which is a great thing to not get into an accident, but to know that it's there. I would rather be in a 2024 model than a 2014 model any day, and it doesn't even matter what model you put me in here and what model I was in there. Just the amount of advancements in safety in them is crazy.
Yeah. And just being safe and all that kind of stuff too. But, getting in a wreck and you say you pretty severe wreck or whatever, you're going to be so much safer in these cars today. With the airbags, the seat belts, everything that we have in these cars to protect us, the crump zones, all that kind of stuff too. Just so much safer, that's for sure. Anyway, we're running out of time, Josh. Yep. Race Open House, February 17th, 9 to 4. Don't want to miss it. All kinds of fun, exciting stuff. Bunch of new vendors coming this year. Don't want to miss that too. A lot of racetracks going to be here too on display to talk to you about their race schedules, all the stuff they have new for 2024. So that'll be fun and exciting there too. So don't want to miss it. Jordan Whitehead will be here cooking for us. A lot of new vendors are going to be here to help you with your racing news to get going. Again, All-Star Performance is new for this year. Weir's Machine is new. Schaefer's Oils have been here before. Aeromotive's been here. Pentronic's been here. Renegade. Mad Drag Strip, they'll be here for the 24 schedule. Flying Ace Drag Strip, also a new drag strip. Monza, you don't want to miss Monza. He'll have his Chevelle here on display. And I think I'm going to do a burnout contest with him out front, see if I can do a better burnout than he can in that Monza with his Chevelle versus I think you got to do the yellow car. That yellow car is too much fun. Kyler Fetters will be here from Dodge City and URSS to talk about their schedule and stuff. RPM Speedway will be here. Bar to Bar will be here with the Sitters and Motorcycles with B's Moto Lab 2. Racing Dirt and also Eric Chester will be here to talk about their new racing series they're putting on in this area for the modifieds. And Casey Joe Gimmel will be here with their Advocare stuff to get you all, how do I say, keep you healthy, keep you energized, keep you well used. And I'm going to tell you, in this cup, and where's it at? There it is. There it is. Full of Advocare right now, full of spark and regenerates from that part. Drink it every day. Big Corner Creative, of course, that's our company. Yes, they'll be here to show you what they can do for race car wraps, all that kind of stuff. So that'll be fun too. And of course, Westhold Sheet Metal will also be here, another new vendor for 2024. Bubble car burnout. No, thank you, Jeff. No, thank you. I hate to tell you what kind of burnout that car will do. So, and let's put it this way, Jeff, for what it is, and that is, it has had enough burnouts so far for a little bit. Hey, the other thing I'll tell you, what I've been waiting for, I've been trying to find out numbers of how many 2020 GT500s were made. There's 5,933.
Okay.
Okay.
How many of them were the?
I got to dial it in because that's on my phone, but I got the Rapid Red. There was less than 600 Rapid Reds. Then you got to get into the painted stripe because some of them don't have stripes. Some got vinyl stripes, all that kind of stuff. And then you got to get into the carbon fiber package, which is very slim and none. And I think if I could, I should have did this, went down to it. I think there was 3. Rapid Red, painted stripe, carbon fiber package.
Really?
For 2020. So everybody now, no one, I mean, that's why I'm trying to keep that car the way it is, but it is what it is too. I still want to go put a different set of wheels on and go have some fun with it. So anyway, Adam, hey, Phil, may I ask what kind of hauler you guys got for your Team 3J? We're running an Intech trailer. Is what we're using. We're going to be in our second year with Intech from that part. And that's another discussion we can get into sometime, but we won't get into that today because we're out of time, basically, is what that is. Yeah, I'm in an Intech trailer, gooseneck that we pull with one of our 450s here at the dealership.
We have a couple of Intech trailers too that our event trailer is an Intech trailer.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. So anyway, everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And of course, BG Products for all your great preventative maintenance products we use right inside here at Mel Hambelton Ford. Of course, we talked about Big Corner Creative going to be here for the open house and also Go To Rent. Hey, Stan has got a great fleet of vehicles. We just finally got some new vans in there to replace some of the vans he's had in there forever. We've not been able to get some transit vans. We're finally getting transit vans in, passenger vans for them. So he's got his fleet of vehicles stocked back up there and everything else to you. So if you're looking for something that you don't want to put the miles in your car, need a 12 or 15 passenger van, give Stan a call right inside here at Mel Hambelton Ford at Go To Rent. Everybody have a great weekend. Stay safe. Stay good. We'll see you here at Race Open House. But again, we're going to talk to you next Saturday at 9 o'clock.